Let's bring in Dan Diker, president of the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs, and Khaled Abu Toameh, a Palestinian Affairs Fellow at the JCPA. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Khaled.
Dan, I'll start with you. Israel is at the end of the third week of war now. What happens next?
It's very difficult to know what happens next. Israel has announced that it's planning a major ground operation to destroy the Hamas leadership, which perpetrated the worst mass murder of women, children, and innocents since the Holocaust. And Israel has not only every right, but a responsibility following the Holocaust, when people in Buchenwald said, "Never again, never again." And this is the next time that the nation state of the Jewish people is protecting the Jewish people by wiping out ISIS Hamas in Gaza, which is connected to the attacks on U.S. Troops across Syria and Iraq as well.
And Khaled, you're a Palestinian Affairs Fellow. So what is your message this morning?
We are very worried over there, both Jews and Arabs living there, because one of the goals of the terrorists, Hamas, Iran, has been to foil normalization between Israel and the Arabs. And they're saying it. They're openly stating that we invaded Israel, we attacked Israel with the declared goal of preventing Arabs from making peace with Israel. That's why myself and Dan came together, and we are trying to prevent that from happening. We can't let the terrorists win. We want to show them that despite the carnage, despite the massacres that they committed, and although they are supported by Iran, Jews and Arabs are determined to move forward.
What do Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip, how do they feel about Hamas?
I feel sorry for them. I speak to many of them, and they're very angry. They're not only angry at Israel, but they know that Hamas dragged them into this war. They are fully aware of what's happening. They're afraid to speak out. That's a problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
Carly, a very important point. The Iranian regime has a grand strategy of attacking the United States that they labeled, as of 1979, the Great Satan, and Israel, the Little Satan. And this is a grand strategy. It's a total Iranian full-scale attack on the United States and Israel, which has been planned for the last 40 years.
Absolutely. And you said that Palestinians living in Gaza are afraid to speak out. People on college campuses are not, and I know that you have a lot to say about that.
Absolutely. In fact, Hamas, the Iranian proxy Hamas, the Iranian regime proxy Hamas, is on college campuses. And in fact, when you see these mass protests of thousands of students yelling from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, that is the same refrain that the Hamas Charter of 1988 that calls for the murder of Jews and the destruction of Israel calls for. It's the same chant on university campuses under Students for Justice in Palestine that you see in the Hamas Charter calling for the genocide against Jews. And in fact, Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs has published this Hamas on Campus, Students for Justice in Palestine Unmasked, in which we reveal to the American people what is going on in this jihad on American campuses.
It's an important element of this story. Thank you both so much for joining us in studio. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Absolutely.